I'm actually full psycho and I don't sleep with a pillow. Yeah, full vampire situation, just straight on my back. Hello AD, I'm Riz Ahmed and today I'm showing you what it is like to live at home with me. If your home had a personality, how would you describe it? So I've got to be honest here and say that I'm basically extremely nomadic. You'd be shocked if you found out how many places I've rented in the last 5 years alone. Yeah, I don't really have one base for most of my adult life. I've been bouncing around a lot. So when I do get a home and put down roots, I'm sure that'll be nice, but also a bit weird for me. What scent is home to you? Man, the scent of home to me is... My mouth just watered. It's dal. It's a really nice dal, the dal tadka, which is when you take the cumin and fry it and you throw that in oil on top of the dal. It's like lentils, basically. Just curry in general. My mom's an amazing cook. My wife's not a bad cook either. I think I'm a good cook, but everyone tells me I'm crap. Are you a shoes on or shoes off household? Shoes off. Just don't bring that filth in the house, do you know what I mean? Are guests allowed to sit on your bed? No, of course not. You're sitting on the subway, you're wearing your jeans. You know what happens on the subway. Actually, we do know what happens on the subway. And so bringing that onto the bed, I just think there's a hygiene issue. What's the perfect house temperature? Who's in charge of the thermostat? The perfect house temperature is, I'd say 22.5 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Maybe we can run the numbers on that for our global audience. Who's in charge of it? I am. Yeah, I'm in charge of the thermostat. I think my wife, being from California, I think is much more used to air conditioning, hasn't quite adjusted to the fact that in the UK it's generally cold, so you don't need to turn any of that on, and also save the planet and whatnot. Throw pillows, yay or nay? I'm familiar with this as a concept that some people engage in, but I do not. Even one pillow on the bed is too much for me, to be honest. And I tell you one thing about throw pillows, you just end up throwing them on the floor. And then they go back on the bed. Hygiene. What is your alarm? My child. Wakes me up in the morning way before I like to be woken up. What lives on your nightstand? Something I try and keep by my nightstand is a journal. Try and just write down some things at the end of every night just to clear out my head. Moving on. Blackout blinds or wake up with sun? Blackout blinds if I can get them. One of the best presents someone gave us when we had a kid was a white noise machine. And now I can't sleep without a white noise machine because I'm used to my kids sleeping to the white noise machine. So I love those things, man. If you want to make money, upload a YouTube video of white noise. Uninterrupted 10 hours. Billions of times I watch that. How often do you change the sheets? Once a week. Is that right? That's a normal amount, right? Suddenly felt very, very vulnerable sharing that. What's the best thing about your bedroom? As I said, I move around a lot. The place I'm in right now, there isn't much to it other than a bed. A boring answer, but just the bed. And I just want to keep the bedroom for nothing but just sleeping. What makes it hard to get out of bed in the morning? Endless, deep exhaustion. So the bathroom, are you a bath or a shower person? I'm gonna be honest and say I grew up without a shower. We would bathe in a balti, which is the old school Indian thing to do. You fill up a bucket with water and you have a little jug called a lota, and you wash yourself very efficiently. Toilet seat up or down? Toilet seat definitely down. And here's another thing, when you are flushing, you have to flush with the toilet seat down. Hygiene. Again, I realize I'm sounding like a bit of a germaphobe. Maybe I am. Do you sing in the shower? I don't really sing in the shower, but I do talk to myself out loud. I do have imaginary conversations with myself and imaginary conversations with other people. I don't know why I do that. And it's my wife who drew my attention to that habit, but I stand by it. Bidet, yay or nay? Don't have a bidet. I do respect Japanese toilets. I was reading an article about how it's become it's going global now. But growing up, we would use lotas. If you don't know what a lota is, look it up. If you do know, then you know. Lota is the OG B-Day. What do you have the most of in your closet? Jackets. Got too many jackets. You know, it's the thing that you keep on in London as well. That was the like flashiest thing you could get. New fake Versace jacket from Wembley Market. What's the most nostalgic item in your closet? I think the most nostalgic item is a sherwani that my dad wore. Sherwani is a kind of South Asian formal wear. It's white raw silk sherwani that my dad got married in. And I got married in that same sherwani. Coffee or tea? I never touched caffeine. After becoming a dad, it's like, okay, I have to have caffeine. So I've started defaulting to just a classic black tea. I just take it with nothing else. Hits a spot. How long is it okay to leave dirty dishes in the sink? Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask my wife, she'll say a week. If you ask me, I'll say a day. I think, man, after 2 days, something's up. Do you know what I mean? Like, emotionally, something's up. And other than running the dishes, you need maybe to speak to a therapist. Home cooked meal or takeout? I love home cooked meals. I love it when we do get a chance to cook. Embarrassing, I used to just be like, protein powder, avocado, banana, almond butter, a couple of berries, random vegetable, put it in a blender. That's my meal. And then I met my wife and she said, this has to stop. What do you do most in this space? TV, read, party, no. Nap, board games. Let me tell you what I would love to do in my living room. I would love to play games, play Mafia. My dream night is like dinner at home, cooked meal, dinner at home with friends, and then intense Mafia session where everyone falls out with each other by the end of it. Do you have any special mementos from your films/albums? You know, the thing I kept from Relay was a jacket. There's a very nice kind of multicolored leather jacket in the film that accidentally found its way into my closet. Do you listen to music throughout the house? If so, how? I love having some music on in the morning. It really helps me wake up. And right now I'm listening to a lot of kind of 1970s Lollywood, like Pakistani film music from the 70s, and kind of Bollywood disco from the 80s. Artists like Asha Bhosle, Nahid Akhtar, Tafo Brothers. There was just this amazing kind of psychedelic, crazy neon kitsch. The office/studio, do you have a home office or music studio? I don't right now. I would love to. I guess less of an office because I don't like the idea of like sitting down, and I'd like a space where I could just walk around and prepare my work, put my script on like, print it out in like double-sized font and put it on a music stand so I can read it from further away, and I'd like to move around when I'm preparing my work. So that would be a dream, and that's a good idea, AD. Thank you. Thank you so much, AD. Hopefully that's given you a little bit of an insight into my nomadic life. So if you ever do stop by, you know the rules. Shoes off.